welcome to the Daily Echo. It is Sunday, July 27th edition. I'm taping this a couple of days early because I will be out of town at a family reunion enjoying family today. This is one of my favorite stories. It was told to me by Ed Foreman about a year ago, last August, at the Successful Life course that Ed does every year with Earlene Vining. And he does it multiple times, so you should go. It's great. It's called The Murder of Grabwell Grommet. On the morning of his 42nd birthday, Grabwell Grommet awoke to a peal of particularly ominous thunder. Glancing out the window with his bleary eyes, he saw written in fiery letters, "Someone trying to kill you, Grabwell Grommet." With shaking hands, Grommet lit his first cigar of the day. He didn't question the message. You don't question messages like that. His only question was, who? At breakfast, as he salted his fried eggs and buttered his toast, he told his wife, "Gradia, someone is trying to kill me." "Who?" she asked with horror. Grommet slowly stirred the cream and sugar into his coffee and shook his head. "I don't know," he said. Convinced though he was, Grommet wasn't going to the police with his story. He decided his only course was to go about his daily routine and hope somehow to outwit his would-be murderer. He tried to think on the drive to the office, but the frustration of making time by beating lights and switching lanes occupied him wholly. Nor once behind his desk could he think a moment what, with jangling phones, urgent memos, and the problems and decisions piling up as they did each day. It wasn't until his second martini at lunch that the full terror of his position struck him. It was all he could do to finish his lasagna Milanese. "I can't panic," he said to himself. Lighting his cigar, "I simply must live my life as usual." So he worked until 7 as usual, drove home fast as usual, studied business reports as usual, and he took his usual 2 second capsules in order to get his usual 6-hour sleep. As days passed, the man fully stuck to his routine. And as the months went by, he began to take a perverse pleasure in his ability to survive. "Whoever's trying to get me," he'd say proudly to his wife, "hasn't gotten me yet. I'm too smart for him." "Oh, please be careful," she'd reply, ladling him his second helping of beef stroganoff. The pride grew as he managed to go on living for years. But it must to all men, as it does. Death came at last to Grabwell. It came at his desk on a particularly busy day. He was 53 years old. His grief-stricken widow demanded a full autopsy, but it showed only emphysema, arterial sclerosis, duodenal ulcers, cirrhosis of the liver, cardiac necrosis, cerebral vascular aneurysm, pulmonary edema, obesity, circulatory insufficiency, and a touch of lung cancer. "How glad Grabwell would have been to know," she said, with a smile proudly through her tears, "that he died of natural causes." And I think that's a great story because I think, as I did a few episodes ago about prescription pills or permission slips, I think we go about and we don't realize, we think it's normal to have arteriosclerosis at age 45 or 50. We think it's normal to have type 2 diabetes in our late 40s because a lot of people around us are having those symptoms and having those diseases, and it's not. The body was geared and meant to live a long time, disease-free, pain-free, symptom-free. So it's a great story. You can Google it. It's a great lesson for all of us to learn. Hopefully we're taking care of ourselves, doing the things that we need to do now so that we can live not only a longer life, but with a quality of life that allows us to enjoy ourselves. I have so many patients as they hit 50s and 60s. They're just nursing injury, disease after another, and they're just miserable. They're not enjoying life. Have a spectacular Sunday, and we're going to start the day off with Magnificent Monday tomorrow. As always, thanks for joining us. As always, thank you.